Good morning. What's going on with this thing here? Morning. How's everyone doing? Fareed, welcome back from Japan. A lot of familiar faces. Welcome. Sean, welcome to the family. Jay Haas. Have I seen Jay Haas here in a while? What's up, Jay Haas? Freeloaders. Roku, Francisco. I'll look at it just because you were here early. I gotta remind myself. I'll go ahead and put it in the ticker form right now. Roku. I haven't looked at that one in a long time. All right. Thanks, guys, for being here again. Thanks for supporting the live stream, as always. Very appreciated. At least I'm not talking to myself here. All right. Yeah, maybe one day. Yeah, we got GDP this morning. We got Apple earnings, big earnings. So some big stuff this morning. Did I play meta puts? No. Everyone wants to be playing meta puts in hindsight. All right? Everyone wants meta puts in hindsight. You know, maybe one day we'll all have time machines and we'll be able to go back and buy meta puts after knowing what's going to happen. Maybe one day. But right now, obviously, that's not going to happen. All right. Yeah, we got shop earnings in the pre-market too. Did they report yet? Let's see here. Yeah, they did. All right, let's get started. So, yeah, we got some earnings to take a look at today. We got some economic news to be aware of today, and then we got some levels to watch on the futures. So, today's the 27th, Thursday, October 27th. Economic earnings calendar. Let's start there. So, let's pull up that earnings calendar. Here it is. We got some big stuff to look out for today. Scroll down here. So, last night we had Meta. We'll take a look at that, obviously. Shopify this morning, McDonald's this morning, Cat this morning. Really good earnings from McDonald's and Cat, up really nicely. Dow is up 200 points. The Dow is up 0.6 this morning. So very interesting, some very interesting action going on in this market. Earnings is sort of deviating some things, which is really weird. So like yesterday, the Dow was green, the NASDAQ was red, the ES was about flat. The Dow's been outperforming substantially over the last few days because of some of the earnings from the Dow components. So interesting to see, right? Those indices are no longer in tandem. That Dow Jones is really outperforming as of late. So we'll see how that sort of works out. McDonald's was strong, Caterpillar was strong, and that is causing the Dow to continue higher this morning. So something we'll definitely have to watch out for. Shopify as well, we'll take a look at. Amazon, Apple, Intel, some big ones in the after hours today. Those are definitely market. This is the biggest one, right? Apple's the biggest one. Apple's the biggest company. It's the main thing, right? It's the main show tonight on Thursday. Apple and Amazon are huge, and we have to see how the market reacts to those earnings. After that, tomorrow in the pre-market, we have the energy move, ExxonMobil, Chevron. Those will be very important as well for energy. So big earnings, right? Big earnings. We'll take a look at some of them today. Tonight is the big show. Apple, Amazon, those are big. Should be interesting. Economic calendar here. This is also very important this morning. Today is Thursday, right? So right here, we're looking at real GDP estimates. 8:30. So in about 25 minutes, we'll get our first real GDP estimates for quarter 3. I think that is, median forecast is 2.3%. So we'll see how that comes out. Initial jobless claims, I don't think this will do much. I think the GDP estimates is what we're looking at this morning at 8:30. So that's that. Tomorrow, big economic day, right? PCE price index. Real consumer spending, real disposable income. So we'll get a little bit of a picture on the consumer there. 5-year inflation expectations. But I think today, 8:30, this is big in about 25 minutes. GDP, first estimate. So let's see that. All right. So we definitely have some external factors here today to be aware of, right? We have economic news, and after hours today, we have pretty insane, pretty big earnings. What does that mean, right? What does that mean for you as a trader? That means you need to be relaxed. You cannot be going out and using your magic 8 ball today. You can't be using, your time machine today and trying to guess what the market's going to do. That is not how you make money today. Meta downside, we'll take a look at that. Apple, Amazon as well. Chip stocks, this is very interesting. So chip stocks after hours yesterday, for like 10 minutes, I couldn't really understand what was going on. NVIDIA, AMD were moving to the upside when Meta was moving to the downside. The reason for this is that Meta announced they're increasing a pretty substantial in their CapEx, in their expenditures. I don't know if it's considered their operating expenses or their capital expenditures. Either way, Meta is spending more money, as we know, right, on this metaverse that they're so set on, which I have my own opinions on that, but, I really won't get into that because it's really just not important. It's just one person's opinion, which I don't, I'm assuming Meta's smarter than me. I would hope so. But I just don't really see it. But anyways, that's good for me, I guess, because I like NVIDIA long term. And if Meta spends more money, then that's more money in NVIDIA's pocket. And I would rather own the company that is getting the money than spending the money, personally. So NVIDIA moving higher after hours, AMD moving higher after hours. I'm not so quite sure where they are this morning. I didn't really check it. NVIDIA's up still pretty nicely. AMD sort of. But interesting to see that the chip stocks were the ones that outperformed yesterday in the after hours due to that news from Meta. Tesla, major supply on Tesla. 235. I think it was 235. Yeah, no, 230. 230, 235, huge area for Tesla today. You can already see the rejections that are coming in there. This could be a very nice trade today. Netflix gap fill continues. Caterpillar, we'll look at that ER. Energy staying strong. And then we'll go ahead and take a look at your tickers today. All right. So a lot to talk about today. A lot of interesting things moving on the market. A lot of interesting things sort of working out. So we have Meta earnings. We have chip stocks moving higher off of it. We have the Dow Jones outperforming heavily. We have the dollar, which is sort of creeping up this morning. We have GDP estimates in 20 minutes. So there's a lot of things going on today. So we definitely need to be a little bit cautious, intraday especially. All right. So here's the NASDAQ. Let's continue. Let's start looking at this. So what was the level we were talking about, right, on the NASDAQ yesterday? We were talking about the 11,700 area up here, 11,730, 11,735, up in this general area, this rejection point. You guys can see we have the previous supply right here, and you can see yesterday we rejected it again, right? You saw the upside, right? You saw the upside yesterday, but you just never even got close to the supply, or you got close, but you rejected the supply again, right? So anyone that is actually looking at levels on the market, right? Anyone that's actually taking their time, really trading with a strategy, with an understanding of supply and demand, would know that you should not be longing into this push, right? Why would you want to long? Why would you go long into this supply, right? So, I just want to make it, I want to really get across here that, you see after the fact, people that are bearish, they're laughing at people that are bullish, right? Or people that are bullish are laughing at people that are bearish. But I don't want to say it's common sense, but it's, if someone is actually paying attention to the market, there's very easy signs as to what to do here, right? Very easy signs, right? You do not buy long into supply. And if you are a trader that pays attention, you would know that, right? Why would you go long up here? So it's not even that these moves are very difficult to read, right? It's not that these moves are very difficult to read. All it takes is someone that's actually paying attention, right? And some people don't pay attention. So these moves are not, this market is not that hard to understand if you are really paying attention to the levels that maybe we talk about on the live stream, to pat my own back, or if you just find these supply levels yourself, right? You would know that, hey, NASDAQ straight up move into supply. I probably should not be buying calls into this supply level. We've rejected here previously. Let's not do it again. So just want to get that across, right? If a lot of people are like, oh, it's manipulated, this is bullshit, I hate this, what the hell's going on? But hey, look at the chart, right? Look at the chart. You're at supply. Don't buy calls here, right? And the market's telling you that. So big push, basically off nothing. Just a morning push off nothing, basically. And we rejected again, and we came all the way back down, right off supply. So very clean, in my opinion, very clean, very easy to read. I did not get caught in any of that, right? I played a little bit of upside early morning. I didn't play the downside because I just sort of stepped away from the charts. I sort of wanted to, but I just stepped away yesterday. So nice supply rejection, boom, 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 little triple top there, very clean, right? Very clean rejection. And here we find ourselves down back at that 400 level. So today, I think this 400 level is pretty key. And the reason for that is you can actually already start to see the key rejection that is coming in this morning. So I don't know the exact level, right? I'm sort of generalizing here in this zone. I would say you probably can look around 11,430 to around 11,400. That's probably where I'm going to sort of mark this little zone here where that demand needed to step in, right? 11,430 to 11,400. And then look at what's sort of going on this morning. Look at this little 5-minute break and retest here on the NASDAQ. So you can see the break of 400. You can see the retest of 400. And you can see the rejection of 400. So, in my opinion, you cannot get bullish here today unless you get a strong move back over 400, back over 430, right? And do something like this. If you do not get back over 400, 11,400, then I don't see the reason to be bullish, right? Because that is a potential rejection point. So if you're bullish here, you get a little bit of upside and this just rejects again, right? You got to be cautious there. So 11,400, definitely a level to watch out for today. You can already see the rejection that's coming in on the 5-minute chart. So it's already showing you something, all right? On the 4-hour, I would say if you drop this level, if you continue lower today, right? If you see some weakness in the intraday today, I would say you're coming back down to 11,220. That would be my target, right? 11,220. If I go to the hourly chart and I zoom out, I think your target here on a downside move is these previous highs right here. Right here, right here. A little bit of fake push here. This previous support right here. And then the 20 SMA, which is right there, right? So I'm thinking if you see the downside come in, which it looks like it definitely is this morning, if you see that continue at market open, I would look for that 11,220 on the NASDAQ. That would be my target today, okay? And then just look to see if 11,400 rejects. If we get back above 11,400, right? If we get back above 11,430 today, let's say there's a push on the market, where do you have to watch again? You have to watch up at this 11.7. You cannot get bullish up in this level. Clear rejections. The market is telling you do not buy calls at this level. All right. Here's the ES. So the ES rejected our same level once again from yesterday, right? We talked about this level. We talked about the 50 SMA and the 3850, 3860 area, right? This is the same exact level that we were saying watch out for supply here. Now, why do we not like this level, or why do we think this level is going to reject? One, it rejected previously. There's a 50 SMA rejection on the daily chart, and on top of all that, look at this to the left, right? You have this support, this support, this support, and support. All these previous supports, if you are trading below a support, right, and you come back into it, that support turns into a resistance, right? This previous demand, right? You come back into it. You're gonna have a hard time getting above it. So that 50 SMA, 3850, 3860 is a very difficult level. Go to the 5-minute chart. We can see it right here. Look at the rejections that came in. We got a fake push above it, right back under it, right? And then this morning, you guys can see, look at these rejections. And this is right at the 50 SMA. This yellow line that you see on your screen, that's the 50 SMA on the daily chart. And look at the rejections that came in here this morning. So this is definitely a very difficult level for the ES, 3850, 3860. Now, when we look to the downside, what level has to hold, or what level is our flush level, right? The flush level or the must hold level here is 3820. Previous hold here, previous hold here. If we flush 3820 today, right, if we get something like this, then you are going to see continuation to the downside. Obviously, depending on earnings, depending on the economic news that's going to come out in 13 minutes. But that's the technical level, right? 3820 to 3850, 3860 today. If you drop that 3820, all right, you can see it here on the 4-hour. If you drop that 3820, which is this previous support here, this previous support here, if you drop that, I would be looking for this previous high right here, 37.75. Right there. Okay? So 38.20, 37.75, and then rejections above at 38.50. The Dow is very strong. Right? Look at this Dow. Let me zoom out. So this is a pretty big break. It's going to, see, this is interesting, right? This is tough. I haven't seen this in a while, so I can't give you, all right, it's hard for me to give you an honest reading on this because I have not seen the Dow in such an outperformance for quite some time. So very strong outperformance on the Dow due to the individual stocks that are within this indice, right? You have Caterpillar, you have McDonald's, you have Boeing, you have some of these names that have come out pretty strong and continuing to move higher, sort of these defensive names. And look at the push on the Dow. It's still continuing very strong. The Dow broke above that 32,000 and is actually maintaining above it. So the next level above 32,000, I would say, is probably right here around 32.3, and then up here around 32.8, right? If this actually continues. But this is a hard read for me because I don't know how long the Dow can just continue higher, if these tech earnings continue to be weak, right? If the NASDAQ continues lower, how long can the Dow withstand itself? That is going to be interesting, right? So we'll have to see. But 32,000, yeah, the indice, right? The indices, right? There's the NASDAQ, there's the ES, and there's the Dow. Those are indices. So when I'm talking about multiple indexes, I say indice. If you don't like it, press that exit button. Boom, I'm gone. Poof. No more Vincent. No more is saying indice. So 32,000, right? This is an index, and I'm not sure how long the index here can stay strong if the other indices are weak. So 32,000, we'll see what happens, right? That's what I'm watching on the Dow. So we'll see. We'll see. Russell. Let's go to the 4-hour. Okay. Goodbye. All right. Let's continue. So, here is the Russell. The Russell here, you can see nice big breakout, big push on the small caps, and another outperformance, right? So I think the Russell will eventually come back to retest this level, right? I think that's very important right there. So that's something that I'll be watching on the Russell. Do we see a pullback to this level, right? Do we see a pullback to this level? That's what I'm watching on the Russell. I don't really watch the Russell, guys, to be honest. It's really not my thing. I'm not really interested in small caps, but if you are, I would look for a pullback to that 1780 as a buying opportunity on a little retest. All right. So we got 9 minutes. Let's get another quick look and real update on these futures. Again, 38.60, 38.50, 38.20 to the downside, and 37.75. Make sure to have those levels on your screen. And on the NASDAQ, look at this rejection. This is a very key rejection that's coming in at 11.4. If we reject 11.4 here, look for that 11.220, okay? And then the other thing to just keep an eye out for is Dow, very strong outperformance. So Interesting stuff here, right? We'll have to see how this sort of continues. Does the Dow continue to outperform here? Does the Dow stocks continue to push without the NASDAQ, without the ES? Something to watch, something to monitor. All right, let's continue. Meta. So I want to pull up the, I love this meme, man. Meta, her, Zuckerberg. This is my favorite thing ever. I love this. This is the funniest thing I've seen in a long time. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen it before, but I love this. Meth. Zuckerberg, man, he's spending a lot of money. So Meta is sitting at very, very long lows. I don't even know how to say that. So what are we sitting at? We're sitting at 99 on Meta. The last time Meta was trading at 99 was 2016. 2016, man. That's crazy. So, hey, I don't know. I'm personally not a big believer in the metaverse. Now, obviously, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is what people said when, when it was maybe 20 years ago when we were coming out with a new invention and no one believed in it, or a new idea and no one believed in it. Maybe this is the same thing, right? I can't ignore the fact that this could be the exact same thing, that no one believes it now, but maybe one day it's big. But in the short term, right, they're spending a lot of money. The market does not like it. Investors do not like the money they're spending. They're spending a lot of, precious dollars for this metaverse idea. And we'll see how it works out for them. But right now, market is definitely not enjoying it. And we're definitely seeing the market push this thing lower. So I don't know. I don't know, guys. I'm not going to trade it today. I really don't know what goes on here. It is so, questionable in my opinion. Do we see any kind of bounce? Is this thing just die today? Right? Do we just continue lower? I mean, it's down substantially. It definitely beat the implied move. So if you have puts, you're going to be making a lot of money, right? So congratulations on that. If you're in puts, you should be nice. It had to go below 115, and it is substantially below 115, right? This is where the expected move was. It almost doubled the expected move. Actually, it more than doubled the expected move. So that's very big, right? So let's see. I mean, maybe just watch out for that psych level 100 today. That would be my best guess for you guys. And then just watch some of these short-term pivot levels, right? Little short-term pivot here, maybe a little bit of a low here. And I would just see what happens at these short-term pivots. But, yeah, watch out for that on Meta. Big downside. Let's take a look at Shop real quick. Shopify monthly recurring revenue increased 8%. Subscription solutions revenue increased 12%. Merchant solutions revenue increased 26%. Merchandise volume increased 11%. Continues to expect adjusted operating loss. Fairly comparable. I want to learn. I'm gonna read more into this report because I want to read more about their capital expenditures because they had some big capex last quarter, and that's why the market sort of pushed it lower. But Shop pretty much unchanged here. Got to read a little bit more into the report. All right, let's go Apple real quick. So Apple has earnings after hours today, guys. Right? This is big. This is the monster. All right, Apple is the big one. So you're sort of just sideways into earnings. Really, I don't think I want to do much technicals here for you. That's really not important for me. I'll just go ahead and share with you the expected move and sort of just things to watch out for, right? So 5.6 is the expected move here on Apple today. That means it needs to move up or down 5.6 for the market or for the options to move, right? The implied volatility, what the market makers are pricing into the option contracts. It is implied that it is going to move $5.60 as of now to either side. So if you are buying an option contract, if it does not move more than the implied move, you will lose money. You are overpaying for an option contract today because you think it's going to move more than 5.6. That's what you basically have to say. If I buy an option contract today, I think that Apple is going to move more than 5.6, which is just about 20% is 15%. Okay, 10% is 15, 5%, 7.5. So it's not that big. It's like 4%, 3%. 10% is 15 as of today, right? 5%, 7.5. So it's like 2-3% on the move percentage wise for Apple. So 5.6 from this point. Yeah, it's 3%, 3.5%, 4%, right in that general area. So that's what you have to expect today, right? You have to keep an eye on that expected move. If you're going to play options, please understand that. So Apple earnings today, that's big. Let's go into Amazon real quick. Amazon sort of just sitting sideways as well. Nothing crazy here. Let's go ahead and pop onto the expected move just to get an idea. 7.2. So that's about 10% is 11, 5% is 5.5. So it's a little bit higher on Amazon. It's like 6-7% on Amazon. So Amazon needs a larger move percentage wise than Apple today. And that's pretty expected because Amazon usually moves more. All right, so that's that. Let's go ahead and jump into the real GDP. Let's see what the reaction is here. Let's see if there's any reaction to this number here. After we look at this reaction, we'll go ahead and jump into NVIDIA, AMD. We'll look at Tesla. We'll look at Netflix, Caterpillar, Energy. And then we'll look at some of the names that you guys have on your chart on the live stream ticker form. So we got about a minute until the GDP numbers are released, and then we'll see how this sort of works out. Let's go to the ES here. Let's zoom out a little bit. Here's the ES. So we can sort of look at these major levels, right? So the first major level we're watching here today is 3860, right? And then the first other major level is down at 3820. If you have Thinkorswim, it's right here. It's all products tab up in the top left, and then you go to this little yellow box. The little yellow box right here. I know it might be hard to see, but that's the expected move. All right, let's dig in for a second. We got about 10 seconds. This is a great time to just press that like button. It's such a good time to press the like button. It really is. Thanks, guys. All right, here we go. Nothing crazy as of now. If you guys get the numbers, let me know. I'm going to try to pull it up. I don't see it on this Twitter yet. 2.6. That's higher than the expected, wasn't it? Yeah, it beat the estimate of 2.4. Yeah, expected was 2.3. Oh, 2.4 was the forecast? Yeah, it's good to have a higher GDP, guys. That's a good thing. It's not cooked. 2.6, a higher GDP estimate is actually a good thing. Now, who knows, right? Who knows how the market actually reacts to that, but that is a positive. Let me go ahead and pull that up. Yeah, forecast was 2.3, right? Was it 2.4 or 2.3? Either way, it's higher than that. Yeah, 2.6 versus 2.4. GDP quarter over quarter, 2.6 versus 2.4. Jobless claims, higher jobless claims, which is, again, bullish a little bit. Higher jobless claims is actually, good or bad is good in that situation on the jobless claim side. So I would say two slightly bullish, or at least not, destructive. I guess we could call it not destructive releases there from GDP and jobless claims. And that's probably why you're seeing a little bit of upside, but that is nothing, guys. That is nothing that I would get excited about here. That's really not much. So, yeah. Dustin, let's keep that out of here, my friend. Okay? Whether I agree or disagree with you, it's just not necessary. All right. So, that's that. Let's continue. Let's go chip stocks. A little bit of upside. We'll see. Just keep me updated if you see anything. Oh, wow. NVIDIA really going for it. Damn, dude. I did not. I mean, I'm happy about this because you guys know I'm a big investor in NVIDIA. I have probably 100 and what am I at now? I'm probably close to 150 shares of NVIDIA at I think my average is 140, maybe 138 now as I continue to buy. So I mean, I'm happy with I'm very happy with my decisions here on NVIDIA. I think I'm going to set myself up well for the future. I hope that's the case. Right? That's my plan. You can't, you just gotta go with what you believe. And for me, I think NVIDIA is just an absolute steal of the century here. And it might even be, I might even just be saying century, and that might actually be it. It might be century. So we'll see. I think this is a fantastic place to be purchasing NVIDIA. That's what I'm doing. NVIDIA is going up because Meta said they're going to increase CapEx. So they're going to have to, and Meta is going to spend more money on semiconductors, basically, right? If there is more upside, if Meta has to buy more semiconductors, that's a good thing for chip stocks. I would assume that a lot of companies have to buy more semiconductors in the future, right? There's no future without a semiconductor, right? In the way our world is going, there is no future without semiconductors. But anyways, NVIDIA is at a extremely large supply level here today. Does it get above it? Right? That's the question. You guys can see we got rejected here, or we had support here. We got rejected here. We got rejected here, and we're sitting at it again. So does NVIDIA get above this today? Very interesting. Does NVIDIA get above this level today? That is something I will be watching. Do we get a continuation move above 134? If we do, if we get above this little shelf here, I don't really see much major triple top rejections or anything like that. I see maybe this previous low here around 141. I see maybe this high right here around 146, but I don't see another major shelf, right? This is the major shelf, right? Around here at 133, 134. There's not another major triple top, double top level here on NVIDIA. But you guys can clearly see it, right? Previous support, rejection, right? This is a shelf, right? You need to get above that. So if you get above this shelf right here, right, there's nothing too crazy until maybe this little triple bottom back down around 154. You can see this triple bottom here. Right here, you have a triple bottom on the market, all right there. So that probably would be the next major rejection. But yeah, I mean, I'm an NVIDIA bull. I will continue to be. We'll see how this works out for me. But I like what I heard from that having to buy more semiconductors. I'm pretty happy about that. So that's something to watch out for, guys. Right? You're getting NVIDIA upside regardless of the downside on the market. Very interesting. AMD, you're seeing a little bit of that as well. You just got to watch out for 63 here on AMD. But you got above 60. You held it as support. Look at the break and retest, right, guys? We talked about this on the live stream, right? We talked about the break and retest. So you can see rejection, the break, the retest, and look what it's doing, right? AMD is turning. These are the little context clues that I love to take out of the market, right? These are the little things that maybe go unnoticed by some people, but this is important, and you can't just ignore this, right? The 60 level that has held AMD down substantially is now turning into a support, right? You can't just blow that by the wayside and just be like, oh, AMD is going to 10, right? This is important right here. The fact that this chart is turning that 60 into a support is something to be paying attention to. Now, that doesn't mean you go buy, your whole net worth in call options, but maybe it's a trade that you watch out for, right? Maybe it's something that you could take advantage of if you're paying attention to it, right? Not everyone is paying attention to this. So, no, everyone's bearish on things, right? That maybe there's a short-term opportunity there on AMD. I like it. So I've been trading AMD off that 60 level. I know some of you guys in the chat have been as well. It's been a nice trade off that 60. Every time AMD drops to 60, it has a very nice little trade there. So definitely watch that. Tesla. Big supply here on Tesla as well. Here's the 15-minute. Actually, you know what? Let me go 4 hour. Do I want to go 4 hour? No, I think I like the hourly better. All right, here's hourly. Yep, I like this. So you guys can see Tesla rejection here, right? Rejection here yesterday again, and you are pushing right back into it again today. So does Tesla reject 230? That's the question, right? That's the question. 230, does Tesla reject it again? That's what you should be watching today. If Tesla rejects 230 again, then you have a nice downside play, maybe back to 222. If Tesla breaks 222, then you have more downside here. If Tesla breaks 230, right, your next level to watch out for is 235. 235 right here. That's your next level. So 230 supply, watch out for that. Do not buy calls into 230 unless it is very strong above it. If you get above it, 235. If you're starting to see rejections at 230, look for that downside into 222 if it rejects the supply level. Netflix, this gap fill is she's just grinding, man. I don't know who remembers here. I don't know who's been here for a while. I don't know who has been a live stream watcher since the beginning of this year, right? If you have been, then you probably remember that I bought Netflix December 400 calls after their in April, right here. I bought Netflix December 400 calls down here, if anyone remembers that. If you do, then thanks for being a supporter of the live stream and thanks for remembering that. But they are actually starting to work. And I remember saying to someone in the live stream, come back in December and let's see what happens. So this is interesting. I've had a good time holding it. It's $100. I put $150 in it, so nothing that's crazy. But yeah, it's pretty fun. I've been holding this Netflix call for 6 months now, and it is starting to work. So we'll see. I'm gonna have to make a decision on when to ditch out of them. But I am still holding those. They were up about 80% yesterday, so pretty good stuff. But obviously that was just for fun, guys. I mean, I would never, if I had a large amount of money in that, I would never hold it. But yeah, they were dirt cheap. That's why I took it, Josh. I was like, this is the options have to be absolutely destroyed here. So that's why I took it. Netflix could obviously push into that gap fill, right, guys? Look, right here at 330. I would assume there's a lot of rejections at 330. So if you do play Netflix, just watch out for 330. That would be your rejection point. I do not expect you to get through that. All right, so I'll probably sell my options if it gets to 330. I would assume there's a rejection there. Caterpillar. So big push on Cat. Nice push. Let me go into the 4 hour because that's not representative. So right here, right, guys, we broke this pretty major rejection point, right, at 200. So what I would do is I'd look for a pullback to 200. I'd look for 200 to hold, and I'd buy it off that. That's what I would do today. All right, if you can get a pullback this week to 200, I would take it. Right, so look for a pullback to 200 on Caterpillar. If it holds it as support, that's a break and retest. That's a nice setup. All right, energy sector, real quick. Energy is still pushing higher. Very nice upside on the energy stocks. $90 is your rejection level here on XLE. So watch out for that 90. That's what I would watch if you are in energy. If you get above 90, right, look at this XOM, guys. It's at new highs. XOM made new highs. So that the XLE trade is still alive. It is very much alive. It is continuing. XLE is at new highs. I don't know since how long. This is at least 3 years. Let's go back more. XLE is this all-time highs? Or XOM? Wow. XOM all-time highs. Interesting. Yeah. So, see what happens here. Maybe look for a pullback to 105, previous all-time high. If XOM holds 105 as support, that's very bullish. That is 2014 highs. If you come back and hold 104, look at what it did yesterday. Look what it did over the last few days. Look what XOM, see how it held that 104, 105 level over the last 3 days? That was the previous all-time high. So that's pretty bullish right there. So watch out for that energy trade. Still looking pretty nice. All right. So that is what I had. Let's go ahead and jump into, is there anything I'm missing here? We'll take a quick look at Microsoft. Microsoft is stuck under that 230 level. Remember we talked about this level yesterday, guys? So watch out for this. Microsoft is stuck under this previous support at 232. Look at that rejection this morning. So watch out for that on Microsoft. Watch that downside. Google, really ugly on Google. Google broke that channel low at 97, continued lower. The next support, to me, what are we looking at here? Oh, we got to go back pretty far here. Let's go back a little bit further. Yeah, next support on Google, I think, is 9150. I think it's 9150, guys. I think you're going to have to come back to this shelf right here at 9150. So that's what I'd look for. If you see more market downside, 9150 looks to be the target on Google. Right back to here. That's a major weekly chart support. All right, let's go over some of the stocks you guys want to look at. Walmart. Let's start with Walmart. Walmart probably fills the gap, especially with this Dow strength, with this safety strength that we're seeing. XLP has been pushing very nicely, right? Remember we talked about this demand? It's finally working, right? Remember, if you guys come to the live stream, you know we were talking about this XLP demand. You can see the push that we're getting off the XLP demand. If you're getting a push off XLP, then that's going to help Walmart. So Walmart, I would look for it to maybe fill that gap up to 146. Yeah, we'll go over Roku there, Francisco, just 1 second. Qualcomm. See if there's push on Qualcomm from the semiconductor strength, but you got a lot of rejections up here at 127. Right? I would need to get it back above 127 to even make a play, right? I would either look for a break of 127 and a hold, or I would look for the supply rejection of 127. That's what I'd look for on Qualcomm. NVIDIA, we looked at Roku. Roku, just a dead stock, Francisco, unfortunately. You have Roku puts. Let's see, what's Roku looking at? What's Roku looking like these days? I mean, there's such a strong downtrend. Just won't even get out of the downtrend. So in the short term, Francisco, I would want to see it stay below this little double top here. I wouldn't want to see it back over 56. If you're in puts, I'd probably want to see it stay under 56 here. I want this double top that has been formed over the last few days, last few weeks, to stay as a rejection point, right there. So you want to see that thing stay under 56 if you're in puts. Is Roku at all-time lows? I think it is, right? No, it's not. Yeah, I mean, we're trading at 2019 levels. But yeah, for short term, Francisco, have it stay under that 56. Don't want to see that. FSLR, Michael. Yeah, FSLR, look for that 130 break and retest. Remember, end phase was pretty strong yesterday. We talked about this 130 level. Look at this little break and retest of 130, right? Get it to hold above that, and maybe you have some more upside here. Right, 130 break and retest, and then just keep an eye on end phase. End phase, big push yesterday into supply, though. Right, look at the supply on end phase. 295, 300. This is the exact level we talked about. So 295, 300 on end phase. Watch for that supply rejection, and then FSLR, look for it to hold 130. All right, guys, that's all I got. I got over to the chat. Hope you guys have a fantastic, fantastic day. Be safe out there. Please don't gamble on stocks, on earnings. I mean, you're obviously there's going to be times where it works out. You're going to make a lot of money, right? Maybe you do it and you make a life-changing amount of money, and then that's your exit plan. Maybe you don't want to trade. You just want to gamble. You get meta puts right. You make 100K and you stop trading. Maybe that's your plan. Maybe, who knows? But if you really want to be around, if you like trading, if you like to, if you like the everyday, coming to the market and improving yourself and making small amounts and just sort of compounding your growth, earnings is not the way to do it, right? So hope you guys have a good day. Keep it safe, keep it small. Let's see what happens today. You got Apple earnings, Amazon earnings. You got some big earnings after hours. That is definitely going to affect the market. Do not try to guess what happens. If you do not come to this live stream and tell me that you told me so, because you will be blocked. All right, guys. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace out.